General Hospital spoilers teaser 1 year after the tragic and untimely passing of Johnny Wactor, the beloved actor who gave life, soul, and quiet resilience to the character of Brando Corbin on General Hospital. The heartbreak still lingers across Port Charles and the real-world community of fans who cherished him. His death on May 25, 2024, during a senseless act of violence in Los Angeles, left a wound so deep that time alone could not mend it. And yet, amidst the sorrow and mourning, a final gift emerged from the shadows of loss. One final unreleased scene, filmed before Johnny's passing, which would soon resonate as one of the most emotionally powerful moments in the show's decades-long history. Quietly recorded in the fall of 2023, this scene was never intended to be a farewell, but it has since become precisely that. And now, General Hospital has chosen to air this rare, intimate footage in a tribute episode unlike any other, leaving fans and cast members alike in tearful silence as Brando returned, one last time. The scene unfolds with haunting tenderness. Brando, eyes softened by love and time, records a message for Sasha. There is no setup, no dramatic music, only the raw vulnerability of a man speaking from his heart. "I hope you live a beautiful life," he says gently, "even if I'm not in it. You deserve that. You always did." There's a tremble in his voice, the kind that comes not from fear, but from peace, a man who has made peace with the path ahead, however uncertain. The lighting in the scene is subdued, casting a soft glow on Brando's face, almost angelic, as if the showrunners knew this would be his final send-off. Though Sasha does not appear in the frame, her presence is felt deeply, woven through every word Brando utters. It's as if her memory is alive in his eyes, a testament to love that surpasses the boundaries of time and space. The moment the episode aired, the internet erupted. Social media platforms lit up with tributes, clips, and reflections as fans across the globe united in collective grief and gratitude. The hashtag #FarewellBrando trended within minutes. Some posted stills from Brando's earliest scenes, others wrote heartfelt messages about how Johnny's portrayal had helped them through their own hardships. Many called the final scene a hero's last whisper, a poetic closure to a storyline, and a life that ended far too soon. For longtime viewers, it wasn't just a scripted moment, it was a spiritual return. Brando, and by extension Johnny, had come back to say goodbye, not just to Sasha, but to all of us. According to those close to the production, the scene had been part of a future flashback arc the writers had been developing, a gentle epilogue for Brando's legacy. No one involved could have foreseen that this would be the last time Johnny Wactor stepped onto the GH set. After finishing his work on this scene, Johnny turned his full attention to other creative pursuits, including a deeply personal indie film titled Ciao Mama, shot in 2022 and set to premiere at the LA Film Festival on June 24, 2025. The timing of the GH tribute could not have been more profound, coming just weeks before what was supposed to be Johnny's next chapter as a filmmaker and lead actor. The TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood will soon host the premiere of Ciao Mama, and for many attending, it won't be just a film screening, it will be a memorial. According to Micah Joe Parker, Johnny's co-star and close friend, the film is a love letter to the things Johnny valued most: family, friendship, and vulnerability. Parker recalled the night Johnny died, how he had shielded Anita Joy from an armed attack with no hesitation, instinctively protecting someone else at the cost of his own life. "That was Johnny," Parker said in a choked voice during a Fox 11 interview. "He never walked away from doing what was right. He stepped in front of the danger for a friend. He didn't think twice." Parker went on to say that Johnny never lived as a victim. He lived as a protector, a dreamer, a doer. And now, in both General Hospital and Ciao Mama, his legacy lives on. When General Hospital aired Johnny's final scene, the production team took special care in how it was presented. They commissioned one of Johnny's favorite composers to write an original score, an understated piano piece that plays beneath Brando's monologue. The music lingers in the background, never overwhelming the moment, just enough to cradle Brando's final words like a lullaby. As Brando finishes his message, the camera lingers for a beat too long on his expression, one of longing, of hope, of peace. That single frame has since become iconic, shared endlessly online and even printed in tribute publications. Viewers were devastated and uplifted all at once. On fan forums and in tribute threads, they described the scene as cathartic, a necessary closure not just for Brando's arc, but for their own grief. They praised the producers for preserving the footage, editing it with reverence, and choosing to release it at the right moment. Some even launched petitions to ensure the scene would remain in GH's official archives, re-aired every May 25th as a memorial to Johnny. Others called on the Daytime Emmys to recognize his contribution posthumously, arguing that few actors had ever left such an emotional imprint with so little screen time. Within the GH cast, reactions were just as raw. Caitlin McMullen, who plays Sasha, broke down in tears after watching the tribute. "I never got the goodbye I wanted with Johnny," she admitted. "But seeing that scene, it was like holding his hand one more time. Hearing his voice again. It gave me peace." Several other cast members took to social media to share behind-the-scenes memories, selfies with Johnny, and reflections on his kindness, his discipline, his laughter between takes. Showrunners followed suit, releasing an official tribute during the episode's credits, along with a promise. From this year forward, May 25th would be recognized as Johnny Wactor Remembrance Day on General Hospital. And so, in a moment of profound artistry and human connection, Johnny Wactor did what he had always done best: he gave. Even in death, he found a way to reach out, to comfort, to say goodbye. His final scene as Brando wasn't written to be a farewell, but it became the most powerful one imaginable. It wasn't long, just over 3 minutes, but in that brief window of time, he gave the audience everything. His eyes told the story. His voice carried the truth. His legacy burned brighter than ever. Johnny Wactor may be gone, but his echo remains, in every note of that soft piano melody, in every tear Sasha sheds on screen, and in every heart that still beats a little faster when they hear the name Brando Corbin. He was not just a character. He was not just a man. He was a force of love in a world that needed it. And through this final gift, that love endures. From the soundstage of General Hospital to the luminous theater halls preparing for the premiere of Ciao Mama, from the tear-stained tributes of devoted fans to the heart-wrenching words of his colleagues, Johnny Wactor continues to exist, not just as a memory, but as a presence. His life, tragically cut short on May 25, 2024, at the age of 37, during an act of incomprehensible violence in Los Angeles, left a void that refuses to be filled. But somehow, through the flicker of a screen and the soft cadence of a farewell monologue, he continues to inspire, continues to reach out across the divide between life and death. And in the final scene he filmed for General Hospital, quietly recorded before he turned his focus toward independent film, Johnny left behind a goodbye unlike any other, a farewell so tender, so real, that it now lives permanently in the hearts of millions. It has been a year since that fateful night. Johnny, after completing a shift at Level 8, a rooftop bar in Los Angeles, was confronted by 3 men attempting to steal the catalytic converter from his vehicle. In those harrowing seconds, Johnny, true to his nature, stepped in front of danger to shield his colleague, Anita Joy. It was not heroism scripted for the camera, but one born of instinct and selflessness. That moment of courage would ultimately cost him his life, but it solidified a legacy of honor and bravery that no role, no headline, no eulogy could ever truly encapsulate. It was Johnny being Johnny, protector, guardian, a soul who lived not for glory but for good. And now, after the heartbreak, the disbelief, and the endless stream of tributes, the world has been gifted one last glimpse of Johnny Wactor, not as a man on a red carpet or a name in a tragic headline, but as Brando Corbin, the character he made unforgettable from 2020 to 2022. This final scene, quietly filmed in late 2023, was never intended as a goodbye. At the time, it was simply another day of storytelling on set. But following Johnny's death, the decision by General Hospital to preserve, polish, and broadcast this footage transformed it into something sacred. It was not just a tribute episode, it became a historical television moment, one where fiction and reality merged, and a beloved actor spoke directly to those left behind. In this poignant final sequence, Brando appears in a video message addressed to Sasha. He does not speak in platitudes or drama, but with a warmth and stillness that pierces the soul. "You deserve to be happy, Sasha, he says. Even if I'm not there. My heart will always be with you. His words are short, but carry the weight of a lifetime. The camera holds on his face longer than usual, his eyes tender, his smile soft, almost wistful. Around him, the lighting is subdued, golden, as if time itself had paused to honor this moment. Though Sasha does not appear in the scene, her presence is palpable, etched into Brando's expression, wrapped around every syllable. For those watching, it was impossible not to feel the truth. This wasn't just Brando saying goodbye. It was Johnny. The response was instantaneous. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram flooded with reaction clips, screenshots, and emotional essays. Fans from around the world described it as his final gift, the soul's whisper, the last breath of a hero. One post read, "I didn't think I'd ever hear that voice again, but today I wept when Brando said Sasha's name." Another wrote, "It wasn't just a scene. It was the spirit of a man who gave everything, to his craft, to his friends, to us." For many, that scene offered the closure they hadn't realized they needed. It reminded them that the bond between artist and audience does not fade with death, it deepens. This unforgettable moment was made even more profound by its proximity to another milestone in Johnny's journey. Just weeks after the tribute aired, Ciao Mama, Johnny's final feature film project, shot in 2022, was announced to premiere at the LA Film Festival on June 24, 2025, at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. The film, centered on themes of family, love, and friendship, had long been described as Johnny's passion project. According to Micah Jo Parker, Johnny's co-star and close friend, Ciao Mama is more than a movie. It is a spiritual will, a vessel that contains everything Johnny held dear. For me and his family, the most important thing is that Johnny's legacy lives on in the good he brought to this world, Parker shared in a somber interview with Fox 11. Parker recounted the tragic events of May 25, recalling how Johnny instinctively put himself in harm's way to protect Anita. That was Johnny. He never turned his back on doing the right thing. He didn't hesitate. He didn't flinch. Voice trembling, Parker added, he didn't just act bravely, he lived that way. And in both Ciao Mama and that last GH scene, you see the essence of who he really was. Back on set, the production team of General Hospital approached the airing of Johnny's final footage with extraordinary care. They commissioned an original score for the scene, composed by one of Johnny's favorite musicians. The music is gentle and aching, a minimalist piano arrangement that seems to hover like breath over every line Brando speaks. As the scene ends, the scream doesn't fade immediately. Instead, it lingers. For just a moment longer than expected. Enough time for viewers to whisper their own goodbye. Inside the community of daytime television, the scene was heralded as a landmark. Caitlin McMullen, who plays Sasha, confessed that the moment shattered her. "I never got to say goodbye to Johnny the way I wanted to," she admitted in a heartfelt social media post. "But this scene, it gave me that moment. I felt like I was holding his hand again." Fellow cast members echoed her sentiments, many of them sharing behind-the-scenes photos, voice notes, and memories that painted a portrait of a man beloved not only for his talent, but for his grace, humility, and loyalty. General Hospital ended the tribute episode with a black screen and white lettering. "In loving memory of Johnny Wactor, forever Brando, forever in our hearts." Alongside that, producers announced that every year on May 25, the show would re-air his final scene in remembrance, a living ritual, a promise to never forget. Johnny Wactor's physical presence may be gone, but his essence is carved into the fabric of those he touched. From the studio lights of GH to the cinematic glow of Ciao Mama, his light still flickers, steadfast, warm, undying. And in that final scene, as Brando offers his blessing to Sasha with a voice soft but sure, Johnny gives us the ultimate farewell. A goodbye not marred by pain, but illuminated by peace. It is a testament to a life that, even in its tragic brevity, managed to leave a legacy far greater than the years could measure. He is not forgotten. He is remembered with every heartbeat that quickens at his image, every tear shed over a scene he gave his all to, and every moment when someone chooses kindness over indifference, courage over fear. Johnny Wactor lives on, not just in reruns or red carpets, but in the quiet spaces between grief and grace. And through that final scene, his voice will always echo. Parker, who stood by Johnny Wactor during the final months of his life, spoke candidly and with profound emotion when asked to reflect on his friend's legacy. To him, Johnny was never a man defined by tragedy, even though his death was the result of a cruel and senseless crime. Johnny never lived like a victim, Parker said, his voice heavy with both grief and admiration. He was a man of action. He was a dreamer. He was someone who lived fully and unselfishly for others. It was a sentiment echoed not only by those who knew him best but by all who had followed his work. He stepped in front of that gun to protect his friend without a second thought, Parker continued. And I swore to myself that if I could have, I would have taken that bullet for him. That kind of selflessness, that raw instinct to protect others, defined Johnny both on screen and off. And it is that very spirit which the team at General Hospital fought to preserve when they made the decision to air his final scene posthumously. The producers, writers, directors, and cast members came together, not as a television production company, but as a family, to ensure that Johnny's last performance wouldn't be forgotten, or buried beneath the weight of sorrow. It would be honored. Immortalized. Woven forever into the fabric of the GH universe. Caitlin McMullen, who portrays Sasha, was one of the first to see the final cut of the tribute. She couldn't hold back her tears. Watching that scene was like seeing Johnny again, she confessed during an exclusive interview. It was like getting the chance to say goodbye, to feel him near me, to hear his voice. I didn't know how much I needed that until it happened. It gave me something I'll carry with me forever. For Caitlin, as for so many others, Johnny wasn't just a co-star. He was family. A calm force of good energy on set, a patient listener, a thoughtful presence whose absence is still felt in every corner of the soundstage. The showrunners of General Hospital knew that Johnny's final scene would mean more than just another dramatic beat in the storyline. It was more than fiction. It had become real. It had transcended plot and production and entered a sacred space, one of legacy, memory, and reverence. And so, they did something few shows have ever done before. They declared May 25th, Johnny's final day, as an annual day of remembrance. Every year, on that date, General Hospital will re-air the scene where Brando delivers his farewell to Sasha. It will be more than a scene, it will be a ritual. A ceremony. A promise that Johnny Wactor's spirit will always have a place in Port Charles. Reflecting on Johnny's career, the arc is as moving as it is humbling. He wasn't the loudest name in the credits, nor did he chase the spotlight with the desperation of fame. But he became something rarer. He became a light, gentle, warm, enduring. From his early auditions to his breakout as Brando Corbin, from the sweat of his dedication on set to the glow of anticipation as Chow Mama neared completion, Johnny built a legacy not on notoriety, but on substance. On depth. On compassion. He was never just acting. He was feeling, connecting, and revealing truths that many actors spend a lifetime trying to access. And now, in that final scene, where Brando lovingly wishes happiness for Sasha, what was once merely scripted dialogue has become a universal goodbye. A closing message from Johnny Wactor to the world. It wasn't grand or embellished. It didn't rely on spectacle or sentimentality. It was soft. Honest. Human. And in that quiet simplicity, it became unforgettable. From the soundstages of General Hospital to the glittering red carpets of international film festivals, from the weeping posts of strangers online to the solemn tributes from friends who knew his laugh and his fears, Johnny Wactor's journey continues. His presence lingers not just in episodes and movie reels, but in every conversation about decency, every act of kindness, every time someone chooses courage over convenience. He lived like a star who never needed to burn loudly to shine. His final performance, though brief, distilled everything he was, a man who dared to love openly, to sacrifice instinctively, and to treat each fleeting moment as a chance to do good. The scene may only last a few minutes, but its impact will last for generations. It is a capsule of integrity, of devotion, of vulnerability, and through it, Johnny has achieved what so many aspire to but so few attain, immortality not in fame, but in the hearts of those who witnessed his light. And so, we say goodbye, not with despair, but with gratitude. For every moment Johnny gave us, for every line spoken with soul, for every silent gesture that said more than words ever could. He was, and remains, a reminder that even in the shortest of lives, one can live greatly. Through Brando's final farewell, through the tears of his co-stars, through the resonance of Ciao Mama, Johnny Wactor still lives. In us. Around us. Always.